Hey there, Virgo Sun, Virgo Moon, Virgo Rising. Welcome to your reading. This is a bonus reading. It's to cover pretty much the next 4 weeks, so while the Sun is in Aquarius. But if it resonates for you a little longer than that or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised. Wow, okay, so, as I'm recording this, about 4 minutes ago, the moon got into Pisces. And the moon is paving the way because in a couple days, Venus will be in Pisces. And then in about 4 or 5 weeks here, on the 6th, I think it is, of March, Saturn moves into Pisces. And I mention all this because Pisces is the sign that balances you out, right? Across the zodiac wheel from you. It is the energy that helps you to balance things out. And the problem that Pisces struggles with is personal boundaries and personal space, and so they look to you for that, and you look to them for being able to soften the boundaries a little, right? And so it is a very collaborative energy that goes on here. And you have the card here of personal boundaries that came out for your overall energy, and I thought, Virgo's pretty good with personal boundaries. It's about choice, assertiveness, empowerment, and authenticity, right? And so all this Piscean energy coming towards you, I think it's about trying to discern and decide over the next 4 weeks, where do you want to create these structures? Because with all this energy that's going to be going on in Pisces with Venus there for the next 3 weeks, and then followed right up by Saturn for the next couple of years, this is where we soften when you are a Virgo, where you will kind of soften your boundaries in order to create better scaffolding and structures around your dreams. And so a little bit of a flexibility, right? You are a mutable sign. Pisces is an immutable sign. And so you two mutable signs kind of working together to figure out where exactly it is that you can create the right scaffolding to support your dreams. You have powerful cards that came out here. And so this is not something to be taken lightly. And so I really encourage you over the course of the next 4 weeks to really focus take some time to really consider, what do you want to accomplish over the course of the next year or two, actually, because of this transit of Saturn through Pisces having such a dramatic effect on your sign. And finally, Mercury is moving direct and will be direct throughout the course of the next 4 weeks. And so there's a lot of support coming in for you. Pluto is wrapping up, but still in fellow Earth sign there. I think he's at 29 degrees right now of Capricorn, helping you to create structure. And so over the course of these next 4 weeks, really focusing on what kind of a structure has enough flexibility to allow for expansion and growth and to allow you to feel empowered. And so sometimes we can be imprisoned by it has to be done a certain way. It makes it hard for us to see there are new opportunities and new ways of doing things. So you have the Herkimer diamond, which is called dreams. So this is definitely about this Pisces energy around your dreams and what do you want to create around it. But at the same time, you have this opportunity for some great emotional healing. Jupiter is conjuncting soon. I actually don't know what time. You're Virgo, you'd want to know. So hold on, I'll look, because because I know I have a lot of Virgo placements, and I'm like, I need to know stuff. All right, so let's just see here. Jupiter is going to conjunct with Chiron around the 9th. It looks like around the 9th. Well, yeah. Exact conjunction might be a little bit later. So that whole week. So as we actually they're so close right now. They're like in conjunction. They move into an exact conjunction before we get out of February. So that is an opportunity. So Jupiter. Jupiter is in Aries, and he's trying to expand this healing when it hits Chiron. a very emotional healing in a fire sign. So it's the inner child healing, right? It's this healing of what's going on. And that, if you are a Virgo rising, that's your 8th house of transformation. So it's an opportunity to really transform this energy. And even if that's not exactly the placement it is for you, it still carries that energy. And so you have the emotional healing of the awakening crystal with the dreams. And so I feel like there's some kind of a dream, something that you wanted, that you thought you would be, that you wanted to do, or something that's coming in now that kind of has that newness, that energy around it, or something you really, really, but it seems really hard to reach for, to obtain. And it may be actually going back. You may need to go back into a lost dream that you thought you couldn't do, and now you're realizing, hey, I can have this. I can do anything I want to do. I just need to put enough energy into it. There's something new happening for you. It's either a new dream or a resurrection of a dream that you thought you couldn't have, but you can. So for each of you, that is going to be different, and there's going to be a necessity for you to figure out what that is. But you have here the thimble witch that says there's magic in the beginnings. So start something new. So in this energy of this new lunar year, the water rabbit, and with this energy around empowerment and choices and your authenticity and these boundaries, I want to say, don't restrict yourself. Don't restrict yourself. Don't tell yourself you can't have this stuff. Because if you're willing to go after it, if you're willing to chase down your dreams, I think that's where the emotional healing comes in. So what do you really want? What would you like to create? What is the big dream, the big goal, this thing that it feels like either it's something you've wanted for a long time, but you didn't think you could have it, or something new that comes in and you're like, I'm not sure. Be sure. Trust yourself. Be willing to go for it. Spirit has definitely got your back on this. Let's get you a couple of animal totems. I see a couple. I'm really going for one, but so far that hasn't happened, so. Let's see what Spirit brings. I'm always curious to see what happens here. So you have the dog of loyalty. You have these 3 that are peeking out. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was in this deck. I thought I pulled them all out. Okay, so you have the dog and you have the wolf. They both show up on the moon card, which represents Pisces energy. You have this. So you have a personal animal totem that you may or may not know what it is. Be on the lookout for an animal that crosses your path, either in a conversation, actually physically crosses your path, something that I want to know more about that. Look it up. Because there is an animal that is not in this deck, that is an animal, personal animal totem for you that is trying to get your attention, okay? So here we have the dog was the first thing that came out, and the dog is about being loyal. The dog is about sometimes being too loyal. But when we have the dog and the wolf together, that wolf, look at him. He is calling in. He is calling in his soul tribe. And so there's an opportunity for you with this something new that you want to do. This something new that I do think you've been waiting for a long time to do. We have the blue herring. And the blue herring is definitely about being in touch with your emotions, okay? That Pisces energy again. But it's very kind of grounded, right? He's standing in the water. I find herrings more often on the ground than I do in the air, and they're usually right at the riverbank. So they're in touch with their emotions. They wait patiently for the fish, which would be opportunity. It would be abundance. They wait for it to come by, and they snag it. And so there is a patience that's going to need to come in with this, or you have been patiently waiting for an opportunity, and then now is the time to start. But whatever it is, be loyal to who is loyal to you. Be loyal to your dream. And I think you're going to be calling in a new tribe, a new group of people. And this new opportunity looks like it's going to open up new doors for you. It's very supportive energy. It gives you a chance. Like this wolf baying at the moon also makes me think of releasing the loneliness and the sorrow, calling it out, right? And I think that's this emotional healing energy too. And so we have a full moon that comes up on the 5th of February. It happens in Leo, and Leo is very much about empowerment. And so being able to release and let things go at that time, anything that's been holding you back, it's really nice. Wow, Virgo, very nice reading. Okay, so I'm going to use the postcards from Spirit to try to get messages from your ancestral spirit guide team. I keep asking for one and I keep getting multiples, but I'm not going to read multiples. So we're going to figure out what we get here and work with that. Oh, guys, easy. See, they just keep doing that. All right. Oh, you have 2. And I think we have enough time. I'll go ahead and read them both to you, Virgo. Okay. Don't tell everybody else. I didn't do that. All right. We need you to know that you can change things miraculously for you and everyone and make things right. It is never too late. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story. All right. All this Pisces energy. Pisces is the energy of forgiveness. You have this wolf that's crying out about releasing and letting go, this emotional healing. And so allowing yourself to release and let go. Forgiveness starts with ourselves. First of all, we have to forgive ourselves. We have to say, oh, it's okay that I'm human. And when we can do that, forgiving everybody else for being human becomes a walk in the park, particularly when you have strong Virgo placements. Particularly then. Because I have 3 very strong placements in Virgo, and I feel this urge to do things right, and I get really mad at myself when I don't, and I don't even have Sun, Moon, or Rising there. But I have Mars, the action planet. I like to be right. I like to know that I'm right. I like to have the right information right, and then I hate it when I'm wrong. That doesn't mean I don't accept when I'm wrong. I just don't like it. And so I try to do enough research. I'm a researcher kind of person. And so I like research and research and research. And so that when I speak like from a fact-based thing, but sometimes I'm still not right. And so learning to be okay with, oh, I needed more information, or there was a skill set I didn't have yet, or I made a mistake on that. Mistakes are just growing opportunities. I hate that word. I hate it when it comes out of my mouth because I actually don't believe in the word. When we do that, when we forgive ourselves for being human, trust me, that was a hurdle to overcome. And then everybody else was a walk in the park. And there were a lot of everyone else's that had to go through that process with me. Okay, so forgiveness isn't about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story. I'm sorry, one more try. Forgiveness is about releasing yourself from the burden of an old story, one in which you were a victim or someone else's actions or of your own. You don't need to carry this around. You can set yourself free. Even advocating for good because of this experience requires your forgiveness to be effective. Forgiveness is never about condoning. It's not about condoning the things that were done. It's about the recognition that we're just having a human experience. So, it's not about condoning the things that were done. It's about letting yourself off the hook for carrying the burden. Resentment and hurt are like viruses that spread to others. And that is the opposite of what you really desire, right? Imagine what your life would be like without the burdens that you carry when you do not forgive. You can do it. Everyone over here believes in you and adores you. When we have a low opinion of ourselves, that's the energy we put out into the world. And we draw and attract people, relationships, opportunities, jobs, places we live that reflect back to us our low opinion of ourselves. And so this personal empowerment, this opportunity to be authentically who you are, what you are authentically is a divine spark of light, of joy, of the source creator energy. And so all you're doing here is learning and growing. And you can't hang on to perception of inadequacy because you're not inadequate. You're learning and you're growing and you're experiencing, and your soul knew there was a lot of growth in this process for you, and that is why you chose to incarnate in this form at this time and have these experiences. And so it was really actually nothing to forgive. That's the whole problem with forgiveness. You actually didn't do anything wrong. You didn't make a mistake. You didn't screw anything up. You had an experience that provided opportunity for learning and growing in this lifetime, yes, but on a deeper soul level, absolutely. Give yourself the credit for being brave enough to take on what you have. Dearest you, a rigid tree branch breaks under strong winds, yet flexible seaweed survives powerful ocean swells. Right now, we are gently reminding you that being flexible is a good choice when faced with life's challenges. I love it when Spirit has my back. Surrender your fixed ideas to Spirit. Pisces energy is the energy of surrendering. We surrender the ego. We surrender our resentments. Our anger, our hurts. We surrender, and you have this emotional healing energy here. I love it so much. Surrender your fixed ideas to Spirit, who knows what is in your highest good, and deliver to you what you need in the appropriate form. In this moment, rather than fighting or being too sure of your way being too sure of your way working out, be a little looser and allow for another outcome. Compromising can be the best way forward. If you are to learn new ways of doing and seeing, stay aware and curious. That's the blue herring. And teachable, like a dog. Old dogs do learn new tricks, by the way. Take life on life's terms. Your purpose may push you into a direction not on your map. Let it be. Be so flexible that no storm can uproot you. In the end, you will still be rooted in the world, in abundance, and you will indeed experience the beauty that is yours. We love you so much. Oh, I'm glad they made me read both of them. All right, guys, that is powerful. I love it. It's beautiful. It all starts with you just, accepting that you're on the right track by being human and being really curious about what happens next. And think of it as an adventure. You have an opportunity here to chase down a new dream. And this new start could just be a new start in the way you view yourself in the world, which is probably the most powerful new start you can have anyway. All right? Well, you guys take good care. Readings come out every Sunday. I'm on Facebook every day. And next week, we'll take a look at that full moon that's going to be happening in Leo. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll talk to you again soon.